Dang, I burnt it again. I'm never going to get the hang of it. Oh. How's it hanging, dudes? My name is Sean, and welcome back to another Monster Hunter World video. In today's video, we're going to be hunting Great Jagras. That's right, Great Jagras. These things are kind of beastly, especially beginning game. Great Jagras are really a pest more than they are anything. You see, early game, they're going to be kind of hard to defeat. Technically, it's going to be like the first boss that you have to fight. And if you know what you're doing, you can kind of knock one out fairly quickly. You have to kind of know where they're going to be at, where they like to go, what they like to do. They have a couple different spots they do a couple different things in, and hopefully we can kind of see a couple of those spots in this video. What I like to do is I like to run through exactly what is a Great Jagra. So as you can see here, these things are quite huge. Compared to their counterparts, their smaller cousins, regular Jagras, these things are they will destroy you if you don't know what you're doing, and if you don't have a couple of heal potions on you whenever you're first starting out. Because it's like, again, this is one of the first bosses. So let's just go over some quick information for it. I got most of this information from Monster Hunter Wiki, so you can check that out. I'll put a link in the description. But a Great Jagra is a fanged wyvern, however you want to say it. First introduced in Monster Hunter World, believe it or not. So it's a fanged wyvern. So if you ever have like a gun that can use like a wyvern blast, that might do a pretty good, decent amount of damage to it. It's weak against fire and thunder, and you can only find it in the ancient forest. That's where you're going to find it at, is the ancient forest. The size is of course large, and he's a 5th generation monster, and his physiology reads this: Great Jagras greatly resemble an iguana in appearance. It has light green scales with blue and reddish stripes covering its body. While its underbelly is blue in color, Great Jagras have multiple spikes running down its back and has a long patch of greenish fur on the back of its head. Abilities: Great Jagra is able to swallow large prey whole in one gulp, allowing it to use its immense weight to fight off any potential threats. Behavior: Great Jagras are quite calm monsters, but will attack if disturbed or threatened. Of course, and again, it inhabits the ancient forest, and you can see that. It's just the first location on your map. You can't miss it, guys. I mean, come on. You know, how much of a noob are you at this game, really? And so the weapon that I'm using is a bone rod. It's an insect, a gaive, however you want to say that, G-A-I-V-E-S. Come on, guys, these words, man. I'm surprised I even got to say Jagra right. So, yeah, a bone rod. It does almost 300 damage. Okay, so the first actual insect, gaive, I'm not sure how to say that. The first insect blade, I'm just going to call it that you find is an iron blade, or that you can purchase. It does like 240 damage, something like that. And I have its immediate step up, the next one you can buy, the bone blade. And I've upgraded it once. You have to just get 2 large bones you can find laying on the ground on the map, you know, just by searching. So yeah, and it has about 300 attack, almost 300 attack. So it does it packs every bit of punch that a charge blade has, and in fact it swings quite a bit faster. You have so much more versatility. You can see how I just hop up in the air and I can do quite a few different maneuvers, and also I can hop up in the air and get away as quick as I possibly can. All you gotta do is jump up, and for my PS4, you know, you press X and you just, you know, you go the opposite direction, or whichever direction, you know, you're trying to go. A lot of times it doesn't really work, and you know, you kind of end up going right for the Jagra. But there's quite a few combos you can do in the air, so even if you do find yourself, you know, in his way, you can still maybe pull out a combo, or at least do some damage while you're getting knocked on your butt. You know, so there are combos you can do with this when you jump up in the air. So even if you happen to mistakenly jump towards him when you're trying to get away, there's still combos you can do in the air. So even if you do get knocked flat on your butt, at least you can do is do a little bit of damage to, you know, the Jagra. You'll notice that these Jagras like to come out into the first little patch where these Antimorphs, yeah, whatever, don't, just stop, leave me alone. Whatever these things are, they'll come in and they'll just eat one of these things whole. This thing is freaking crazy. You gotta watch out for these guys early game. They will destroy you if you don't have a couple mega potions and you don't know the weapon you're using. If you need to, use a ranged weapon. That'll help. Not the bow, it doesn't have the biggest range. Maybe the bow gun, that's a good one. I've killed one with a bowgun before, but this insect guy of the bone rod, that's working for me. It only costs 300. You can buy it at the blacksmith, directly across from blacksmith, inside the same building. So you know, that's cool. And that I really like this thing because you can select different insects to go with your rod, and depending on the insect that you pick, it will either give you you know, like a bonus for fire, a bonus for electricity, or in my case, mine heals me every once in a while. So that's a big bonus, especially when you run out of, you know, potions and stuff in your middle of a fight. So yeah, you know, just know your weapon. I happen to have gotten decent with this weapon. I'm by no means, I don't know hardly, you know, all the combos that I need to know to unlock a lot of the really cool moves. But the best thing about this particular weapon is that you're able to jump up, like I said. So once you're up in the air, you have, you know, the ability to get onto the Jagraw's back and, you know, pretty much just stab him over and over and over and over and over again, and do a couple different combos and hold on and ride him, stuff like that, and he can't get to you. So, and that happens a couple times throughout this video. So that's awesome. And it's very useful, and I'm starting to really like that. And the more and more I practice with it, you know, the more and more I like it. But the thing is, you know, if you have a ranged weapon, you know, you can hang back and do some damage, and, you know, before they ever even get to you, you're out of the way, you know. So that's kind of a plus. However, you know, with this jumping and, you know, in midair, you know, like flying 50 feet, that definitely has a perk and does the same thing. Every once in a while you'll still get hit, but, you know, it really makes it easy for you to kind of skirt the damage of these monsters, and you know, they almost seem like they get frustrated the more and more you do that, and they run, try to attack you. You just hop straight over them, and then, you know, give them a quick combo, and then do the same thing, rinse and repeat, you know. So yeah, Jagraws, you gotta watch out. Ancient Forest, there's gonna be a couple missions you gotta do. You don't have to do it, but there's optional missions for it. The beginning mission, where this thing is kind of like the boss you have to defeat, one of the bosses that you have to defeat, one of the main quests. You do have to actually kill one, so, you know, it is what it is. But, you know, there's other optional quests for you to get better, and, you know, to try to take down a couple of these things, you know, this and that. And they'll always be in the Ancient Forest. You can always go back and practice and stuff like that. And look, I got lucky the first time I killed one. I try to go back after, you know, blindly going in with a different weapon and just trying to, you know, go after it, and it wrecked me. So you gotta watch out. Just make sure you know what you're doing. Make sure you have your potions on you. Make sure you're sharpening your knife or whatever weapon you have. If you don't sharpen it, the damage will be less. So that's really all I have for you guys today. Again, this has been the Great Jagra hunt. We have been hunting these things. Well, I mean, you know, in game I did it for a couple of hours hunting these things, and it takes a while to kind of taper it down and stuff. But once you get in a good rhythm and you kind of can feel them out and know, you know, what their attacks are and where they're going to lunge and what attack they're going to do next, you know, it becomes pretty predictable, and you can kind of, you know, manipulate the situation, as long as there's not a bunch of other monsters that you happen to run into, which happens in my case a couple times. I hope the information on the Jagra was good for you. I hope you like that. If you need more information on some of these monsters, the next monsters I'm going to do, just let me know. Comment down in the comment section below. If there's a specific monster that you want to see me defeat, and, you know, do the whole physiology and, you know, all the general information on it, let me know. If there's more information you guys need on these things, I will do my best to see if I can't find it, and maybe go past, you know, Monster Hunter Wiki and some of the regular, you know, pages and stuff like that I normally find. So yeah, it is what it is, guys. I hope you guys enjoy. I hope you guys like. Yeah, we'll be doing more of these monster videos. So yeah, guys, that's all I got for you. I hope you guys appreciate it. If it's your first time to the channel, make sure you subscribe. Peace. A bone rod. It does almost 300 damage, non-upgraded. It's the first second. Just the first second. Listen to me.